Okay, what's going on, everybody? So today, I have got a video for you guys that is going to be explaining a man in history that has probably been long forgotten for the most part, and but I'm going to be telling you guys about this man, and his name is James Bruce. Now, this man is, at first, might not seem like a very important figure in history. But let me explain who he is. And at the end of this video, I am going to tell you why this man is really so important and the problems that this man proposes to Christianity, and especially modern day Christianity. And I just found this out earlier today, and I was been doing some research, and so I'm just going to go ahead and tell you guys. So this Scottish explorer, his name is James Bruce. He was born December 14th, 1730, and what is so important about this guy is that this guy was of British dynasty descent. This guy was royal bloodline. Okay, very important man. Now, he was a male member of the present royal dynasty in Britain, involved in Freemasonry at a very high level. He was a Scottish Rite Freemason. So that is a very important fact about this man that we got to remember this whole time. So if you guys do not know about Freemasons, I mean, if you follow my channel, you guys should know about Freemasons and what they're involved with, the conspiracies they're involved with, and just how deep the rabbit hole goes with the Freemasons. They're really a cult that on the surface level they look clean, but they're really a Saturnalia death cult. They worship Saturn, and they are a Luciferian cult. But on the surface, even a lot of their members do not get truly enlightened, do not reach the 33rd degree, the very high, the top level that explains that they are that Lucifer is their god. So even if you do know Freemasons, a lot of them might not even know that they are in a Luciferian cult. That is only for a select few that actually are truly enlightened, and then they go on from there. They go on to after the Freemasons Lodge, there is groups after that they can go on to expand their knowledge. So this guy actually formed his own lodge. It was called the Alpha Lodge. So this guy was a high-ranking Freemason. This guy was like, you just don't start your own Freemason lodge. You know what I mean? This guy was very high-ranking. I'm sorry, I got wipe my face. Very high-ranking Freemason. Now, he was a Scottish explorer, and what he is known for is many trips. He ended up going to Ethiopia and Ethiopia, right? And what is so important about this guy is that he is given the credit for finding a book that was thought that was lost forever, right? But it turns out it wasn't lost. Now, this book was banned from the Bible, and around like the 13th century. And in recent years, this book has resurfaced and has become a big deal in the Christian faith again. They've made movies about this book, and it's being studied, and I'm going to go ahead and show it to you now. I even have a copy of it right now, and I'm reading it. The Book of Enoch. So, let me put this in perspective for you guys. We have a book that the Catholic Church removes and is basically destroyed, completely destroyed, and it goes missing for 400 to 500 years. And then we have this Scottish Rite Freemason who goes onto a trip in Ethiopia, and on his journey, he just stumbles upon the Book of Enoch that's been lost for hundreds of years. And then he brings it back to England, and now it's mass produced and given out to the world again. Do you guys see the problem with this and how this can be manipulated, controlled? That we have this guy who is in the Luciferian Saturnalia death cult that he belongs to, that from the nobility bloodline that he comes from, and then all of a sudden he finds this book and he is giving it to the masses for everybody to read. And you don't think that maybe, just maybe, there might be some playing that's going on with these books, that maybe he manipulated it somehow, that somehow it's been altered for the masses to be brainwashed in some way, shape, or form? I mean, this guy, he was actually a Scottish Rite Freemason initiated at the Lodge of Cangate, Willington, number 2, on August 1st, 1753. Right? He was a male member of the present-day royal dynasty in Britain, forming his own Alpha Lodge. He was a descendant of Robert the Bruce of Stirlingshire, right? And you got to understand, like, these people have an agenda. These people who are in power then are the same families that are in power now. They're the same families. So you got to understand, people that have been in power, like Constantine, that have put on like the Council of Nicaea, have had reasons to alter the Bible in the past. That's why do you think there's so many translations in of the Bible? So many, like the New King James Version of the Bible compared to the King James Version of the Bible, it puts that a lot of the responsibility of where humans have come from on man instead of on God, just by rearranging some simple words in the New King James Bible. So if you get the copy of like the 1611 King James Bible compared to the New King James Bible today, if you go to the bookstore and you see King James Bible and then the New King James Bible, which one are you more likely to read? Probably the New King James Bible, because it is new, it's relevant, the updated language, it's been looked over, it's been revised, and it's just fresh. It's a fresh take, and people have studied it more. That's what you think, but that's not actually the case. Things have been altered and switched in modern Christianity to take away from the Word of God. Now, there is an ultimate creator, but I want you guys to realize that more than likely Freemasons and people who are in high places of power have altered and changed and manipulated the Bible for their own sake and for their own agendas, to keep the masses in line, to control their minds, and to keep people at bay. That's more than what's going on here. You know, we don't have have you guys ever seen the original scripts that we can actually go back in Hebrew and Greek and actually fact check that this is what's written, this is what's actually written, and this is what's in the books today? Can we say that? We're putting this on people who are in high places of power, who usually have some sort of occultic ties, and then they put this word out to the public. It's sketchy at best, very sketchy at best. So I wanted to get this information out there that the Book of Enoch was found by a Scottish Rite Freemason. The Scottish Rite Freemasons, by the way, are the same people. You couldn't just be white in the 1700s to own a slave here in America. That's not true. This has been lost in history. You had to be a Scottish Rite Freemason to own a slave in America. That's real fact that's been lost. That information has been burned, and they don't want you to remember that. They want the masses to be divided and conquered, and blacks to hate the whites to be just this tension and hate between these groups, so they can divide and conquer, and hopefully we end up destroying ourselves, and so they don't have to. But the truth is, Scottish Rite Freemasons own slaves, not white people. Scottish Rite Freemasons were the ones that were in power, rich, wealthy men who owned huge plantations. They were the ones that had the okay to be able to have this trade of people back and forth. And that's the truth. Okay? So, all right, guys. I wanted to get this information out there. So make sure you guys hit like, leave your comments down below, and we got to get this information out there to everybody, man. We live in a world today that information is being suppressed, disinformation at an all-time high, and we got to get the truth out there to everybody. All right, guys. All right, I love you. I'll talk to you later.